where two of the best looking men in the world get up on stage and say funny things to you. No pressure, but the questions better be amazing. Are you guys ready? I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you. Are you guys ready? Please welcome Jensen Ackles and Jared Padalecki.
Hi guys. How are you? Who's first time?
Hot crowd.
I hear, yes.
There we go.
Let there be light.
Yeah.
I think,
Are you expecting someone?
funny you should ask. As a matter of fact, welcome, I'm just kidding. No. I'll get it out of the way.
You didn't have to, I mean, it could have been like a surprise at the end of the, you know.
I didn't have anything planned.
What's his name?
Are we talking about that?
The one we don't talk about.
It's good to be here. Who saw the finale?
Yeah, not me. So I was coming to see you.
Yeah, we were stuck in a car, so we gotta watch it today.
We're stuck in a car, we're stuck in a plane.
Car within a plane.
And then a train.
And then a train. Then a train. Then an automobile.
There was no train.
What'd y'all think?
Crickets.
22 was awesome.
What'd you think? Huh?
22 was awesome.
Yes.
Guys, it's supernatural. People can come back.
I heard it was a bit of a bloodbath, though.
Yes. Everyone died.
Yeah.
What was the best
That's all I
part
got. No.
about...
What? Cass? Who?
The cast back?
Well, that ship is sailed. Who all died? Let's list them. Cass. Crowley. Rowena.
I can't... If I do another finger...
Who else? Kelly. Catch. Crap. It's like the Red Wedding. A little Game of Thrones reference for you guys.
Yes, we know, Ackles.
You don't know. You don't even watch it.
I do know. How
dare you?
Too long. All right, before we just jibber jabber about everything.
No, let's talk about it. I want to talk about it.
Everything. No more.
This is my therapy. Don't touch the holes in my knees. You know how hard it was to get that one? I paid for these and I didn't realize they were...
You only saw the back.
I really didn't. Because I know that like this particular jean fits me, and so I just saw some black jeans there, and I just grabbed them and was like, yeah, I'll take these too. And then I put them on, I'm like, well, hello, leg. I guess we're doing that now. Ow.
That's hair, not thread.
Is this a tic-tac-toe? I don't get what's going on here.
Spin the wheel.
Why don't you find out?
Spin the wheel.
Is it too early?
I'm gonna fall for
Is
that.
it too early for juice? I love you people. All right.
How are you?
Amazing.
You are amazing.
Yeah, you are.
So first of all, I'd like to thank you for your performance in the season final. You are both amazing. So, and as far as I know, there is a possibility of a supernatural movie in the future. So, in theory, what plot and characters would you like to see there?
That's a good question. Would y'all want to see a supernatural movie? I mean, this honestly. I mean, honestly though. Like,
there's one person in the back like, no, I really don't. You know, because I'll just have to wait for it to come out on Netflix, and that's.
Would you want to do a supernatural movie?
I think I would almost rather want to do a
Shortened season?
like a well, yeah, like a 6-episode release, but leave it alone. Leave it alone. That's it. It's low-hanging fruit. Just walk away.
It's just as bad.
Yeah, no, a movie'd be great.
I'm not trying to be antagonistic or provocative, but I would almost rather do a shortened TV season than a movie, because I feel like Is he doing something?
I just said that.
I woke up at 3:30, dude. Yes, I agree. I'd rather do a short.
So,
what about the plot?
Yeah, the plot.
Le plot? Where are you from?
Russia.
I would like to see. In fact, there's an idea that's been floating out there, and now it's probably not going to happen because I'm going to say it out loud. But one of our producers has this idea. I think it'd be an awesome episode where the brothers get tossed into this kind of alternate universe, or they wake up in a different place than they're familiar with, and all of the people in the town are old cast members, like old characters. But weird, you know, like the trickster is the mayor, and you've got like all of them, like who was like Sebastian runs the local cafe, and
You mean brothel?
or brothel, and yeah, and like the whole town is just filled with characters of the past, and it's, I don't know, I think it'd be a really fun episode. Which
it'd be fun. It would be a fun, but I think it would be a fun small season. One of the things that I'm a little sad about, I guess, is that there's last night, notwithstanding, or whenever the finale aired, we don't get to do a lot of 2-part episodes, and so sometimes there have been, in my opinion, situations where it would have been really fun to delve into something for 2 episodes, 3, 4, 5, 6, and really kind of get a feel for what's going on, the lay of the land, meet these like kooky characters. And so I think in my perfect world, it started out, when Supernatural started 40 years ago or whatever, it was necessary to make it serialized, which if it doesn't translate, just means every episode is kind of different. But then as we've gone on and kind of met new characters and the writing has kind of stayed similar, I feel like it'd be fun to delve into certain towns or certain storylines for a long time. Yeah, and so I think my dream, as opposed to a movie or a 6-episode long release, would be doing. Would be doing, you know, we go to a town, something's going on, and instead of figuring out what's going on, finding the bad guy, it's over within an episode, we'd do like 6-episode, really short seasons about going to Missouri, going to Austin, going to Montana, going to Aroma, going to Russia, and figuring out what's going on. Yeah. And really kind of delving into it for a long time, and releasing them via
And this is why we don't write the show.
For me, it sounds awesome. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Thanks.
Dude. Speaker right here, dude.
Sorry.
Hi. Oh my God.
Hi.
Hi. If there would be a second part of Sailing Canals, what TV show would you like to see Sam and Dean transferred into?
Jensen?
Let me see if I got that right. What other TV shows would you like to see Sam and Dean thrust into? Well, you know, we've gotten this question before, and some of you heard a few answers. I think the Walking.
I think she said if there was another episode of Changing Channels, right? Okay,
That's not what I heard.
No. But what was the word? What was the word you used for changing channels? You might have said it. Just kidding. I think she said if there was another episode of Changing Channels.
What world would we like to be in?
Simpsons. Scooby-Doo, which we're gonna do next week. So we actually already recorded it. We actually already. So it's episode 16 of next season. I guess we can talk about it now that we talked about it in New York. Episode 16 of next season. And we already had to do the script and go to a music studio. We went to Bryan Adams' music studio in Vancouver, which is pretty cool. And we did all the dialogue, Jensen and Misha and I, because it now takes them 9 months.
Here's what you guys don't know.
Please don't post that.
What are you talking about? He's just an animated character. That's a figment of Sam and Dean's imagination. There are other characters too that don't exist anymore.
That is very true.
So, boom, you're welcome.
In all fairness, I guess this isn't a lie. That's the only episode we've seen, and it exists by itself. So he could be dead. I hope he's dead because I'm tired. Yeah. So, anyways, when Jensen and Jared and Misha and Ruthie and Mark Shepard and Misha and Samantha
And all of the British men of letters.
David and Adam went to go do our recording, we already did it. So that would be a fun world to get jumped into.
And it was cool that Jeffrey Dean came back. Ruby. It's a who's who.
It's a cornucopia. But yeah, so I think that would be fun. Thank you.
Moving on. Hi.
Good morning.
What's in
Good morning. How would you like us to ruin the future of our show?
I actually have a follow-up question about my question from last year.
Jensen?
Yeah, it is actually for Jensen. I don't know if you remember, but I challenged you to a rock, paper, scissors duel, and you lost.
What? I remember. You did. Came up, you killed me.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so I'm offering a rematch.
Bring it.
For your honor and
Let's
for
go.
my bragging
Come on.
rights.
Come on.
No,
Come here.
I'm not allowed.
Yeah, you are. Permission granted. All right. Step on up. All right, are we going 2 out of 3?
Yeah. And
Jared can't count, so let's not. Okay, all right, here we go.
And we're going, it's on, is it 1, 2, shoot? Not 1, 2.
Stop confusing her.
Okay. Silencio. I'm gonna kick it up a notch. So it's 2 out of 3?
Yes.
Okay. And 1, 2, 3, shoot.
You got this, hon.
1, 2, 3, shoot. Okay. All right. I'm gonna keep it interesting. Get ready, get ready, get ready. And 1, 2, 3, shoot.
Damn it!
She totally changed. She was looking at the screen and she was like,
Figures.
nice playing. She's a professional.
Next year, wherever you are, I will find you.
Revenge is sweet.
Hi. So recently I had the pleasure to go to one of the creation cons, and Jared just said an amazing story about hotel in LA and airport and the makeup. You remember the story? It was amazing. So I was hoping to tell it again for the
Hotel in the
yeah.
LA?
We were checking in late, and there was like makeup included, so there was like confusion on check-in.
Oh no, that was Vancouver.
Oh. Sorry. So well, the story was
So
extremely
before,
funny. So I
before when we were shooting Wendigo, it was way long ago, and we filmed in Vancouver until like 5 a.m. and we had to fly to Los Angeles to do a photo shoot or something at the Langham Ritz in Pasadena, Glendale, something.
You're looking at me. I don't know this story.
So we are like, I think we filmed like, we were filming in Stanley Park till 4 or 5 a.m. We had a flight at like 7 a.m. We finally wrapped, and he and I are both like, well, we can't, we're staying at the Sutton Place Hotel. We're like, we can't go back to our rooms and sleep for 15 minutes because we're gonna sleep and not wake up. And so we just go straight to the airport, and the airport is not letting people in yet. They're like, oh, we don't check in people until 6 or something. And so we're like, do we sleep on the benches? And they're like, oh, well, there's a Fairmont that's connected to the, I don't know if anybody like Vancouver Airport. Yeah, there's a Fairmont that's connected to the airport. And so we're like, all right, well, let's go see if we can just like crash there. And so we go in, and we're straight from set, right? So we have like makeup on, and this is in the days of film, not digital. Now with digital, they don't put a lot of makeup on because you don't need it. But back in the days of film, they would put, it's pretty obvious that we're wearing makeup. And so we go up to the front desk, and we're like, we're just gonna crash for a little bit. Let's not waste any money and get like a suite. So we're like, hey, we'll just grab a room. Do you do rooms by the hour? Supernatural hasn't aired yet. So they don't know that we're just playing brothers. Like, I don't know if the guy watched Gilmore Girls or Smallville or Dark. Like, I don't think they really knew who we were. So we're like, we just need a room for a couple hours. And the guy's like, you know, it's a Fairmont, which is nice. He's like, we don't do that here. I think we're too tired to really understand that he thinks that we're saying something else. And we're like, all right, well, just I don't know, your smallest room then? And he's like, and he kind of gives us this look like, okay. And we're like, 2 beds. And he kind of gives us a quirky look, we're like, no, we're playing brothers on a show. We just have to sleep because we're going to do some acting. So yeah, that was the gist of it. That was when we kind of realized that this is kind of a funny life we lead, I guess.
I just love the guy at the front desk, and then immediately picked up the phone and was like, oh yeah, the guy from Smallville and the guy from Gilmore Girls. just showed up in like quarter drag and got a room together. Okay, TV Guide, thanks.
Thank you. Thank you for reminding me of that.
Yeah, thanks for reminding all of us of that. That's... Hi.
Hey, firstly, really impressed with the last episodes, especially Sam's leadership and Dean's emotional honesty in turn 22.
Oh yeah, Dean's crying again.
So, a while back you filmed the fake documentary, and we were...
Which one?
The mockumentary.
The
Misha's,
yeah. And you were creating your own characters in it, sort of. So I was wondering where those, characters, where they came from.
His was legit. I think one of the fun things we can do with Supernatural is kind of take the piss out of ourselves and make fun of kind of Hollywood in general. And he and I both are not really the classic Hollywood types. You know, as soon as we could figure it out, we moved with our families out of Hollywood, out of California in general.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't let the ripped jeans fool you. I mean, stop it.
And so it was kind of fun to make fun of kind of like stereotypes of ourselves, I guess, and keep everybody guessing and kind of on their toes. So I think we would talk about it for a while. Misha had this idea, was it this kooky idea? We're like, oh, well, it's never going to happen, but it'd be fun if we had a scene like this. It'd be fun if we had a scene with yoga or a scene where we're working out and someone's carrying a mirror. And so it kind of became just a way to, like, I love satire. I think we both really love satire. And so it was nice. It's always nice. I mean, these experiences are amazing. Meeting people who are also passionate about the show, the message, the characters. But it's nice to kind of remain humble, I guess, and to make fun of yourself as much as you kind of... We're in a very cool position, you know? We get to play pretend for a living and have people tell us that they love the story that we're a part of. And we love the story too, right? So it's like, cool, I love it too, but maybe we're given more credit than we really deserve. So it's nice to kind of... True. So it's nice to kind of to make fun of yourself.
The characters, though, they kind of derived from a lot of the stories that we hear. I mean, being in the industry, we hear stories about what goes on in other sets or what goes on with other particular actors on movie sets or TV sets and stuff. And some of the antics are pretty outrageous. We often wonder how people get work done when you have personalities like that.
I wonder how we get work done on the show.
Well,
like horsing around.
We certainly horse around and have a lot of way too much fun. But I would much rather be in that camp than in the camp that is everybody's walking on eggshells, everybody's scared of getting yelled at, or there's an on-set personality that's so volatile it just makes the whole working environment toxic. So we hear about these stories from people, and we kind of used a bit of that to add to those kind of fake characters that we picked up, and it was also kind of complete opposites of who we are. So we tried to expand on that a bit, and it was a lot of fun.
Right here.
Hey.
Hi. Okay. I was really impressed about something that you said once, which is found something to always keep fighting. It doesn't matter what it is. It could be a person or a book or a TV show. Just found it and keep fighting for it. So first of all, I want to tell you that you and moments like this are my reasons to always keep fighting. And my question is, what is your reason to always keep fighting, and what is the reason that makes Sam and Dean always keep fighting, besides each other, of course?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Happy you kept fighting, happy you're here. It changes, right? It changes day to day sometimes.
Yeah.
And you'll be inspired by a song, or a sunset, or a rainbow, or a piece of art, or a friend that calls you, or a spouse, or a child, or a parent. So I think one of the things that I'm trying to teach myself, I feel like life sometimes tries to beat me over the head with it, and I'm trying to, some things I learn very quickly, and kind of go like, oh, got it, and it clicks, and I move forward. Some things, I'm very thick-skulled, but one of the things that I'm having a really fun time learning is that life surprises me every day. And something makes me sad every day, something makes me happy every day, and I try to just focus on the latter and that which makes me happy and inspires me. Days like this, frankly, it's y'all guys. I'll meet people with a smile or with a handshake or something, and I just go like, how, pardon my French, how fucking cool. Like, I've never, if not for this weird TV show, I'd have never met any of you guys, nor this guy, nor the rest of the guys and gals back in the green room. It's like a really cool blessing, and sometimes you get so caught up in your job and your responsibilities that you don't look at it for its face value and go like, I remember being a 13-year-old kid in middle school, like dreaming about being on Home Improvement or something. Like, I could be one of those brothers, you know, going like, I could do that. I love acting. Like, I want to tell these stories. I want to be JTT on the folders of all the little girls and go like, I have dimples too. Don't. So it's neat that it's, every now and again I get so caught up in like, oh, I'm jet lagged, I'm tired, I hope I don't disappoint somebody. Oh, I don't know my lines for today. Oh God, I have to do a scene. Oh, I'm doing a fight scene but my back is sprained. That I forget like what a cool blessing it is. So just trying to remind myself that every day I can find something new to fight for and be appreciative for is kind of what's exciting me right now. Thank you for being here.
Thank you.
Yeah.
You know something? There's also a lot of inspiration in our lives. We have beautiful wives. We have amazing children. We have great friends, awesome family, awesome extended family, and there's a lot that you can really be inspired by. You know, when it comes to the day-to-day work of it, getting up in the morning early to make your set call and to get there, even though you worked all night last night and you're tired and you might be sick and. You know, he and I have been doing this for a pretty long time, as most of you know. And, you know, at this point, the network and the studio kind of look at us and they're like, you know, we're going to keep going if you want to keep going, kind of a thing. And it's almost gotten to a point where we don't have to do this. And I wake up in the morning and when I feel like I don't want to do this, or if I feel tired, or if I feel sick, I think to myself, you know what? I don't have to do this. I get to do this. And that's, I think, a sentiment that he and I both share. And we're very fortunate, and we're very humbled by the daily inspiration that we get. So, you know, that's where it comes from. Yeah.
Thank you.
Hi.
First of all, congratulations on completing 12 seasons.
Thank you.
So my question is just about the process from you get every episode idea and turning that into script, then script to shooting the episode. What are the stages you go through? Is there any hurdles, difficulties? I mean, maybe getting script approved or anything like this, the things you go through in order to get one episode done, which are brilliant episodes.
Thank you. There is quite a process from a conception of an idea to it actually making it on screen. And it starts with the writers in the room pitching ideas to each other and coming up with a kind of a broad idea of where they want to take the story, where they want to take the characters. And then they start to get individual ideas for specific scripts.
Yeah, it would be like, I think, like as a pretend example, it'll be like, hey, one of the writers goes, hey, wouldn't it be cool if Sam and Dean went to a haunted asylum and had to save the day? It's like, that is cool, figure it out. It's like, okay, well, why is it haunted? Okay, maybe it was they were doing human testing.
Right. So then the writer then goes kind of back to his office, his or her office, and they start putting together essentially a breakdown of a general concept of the script and how it's going to go. Then that writer then goes to Andrew, Dab, and Bob Singer, and they give them a pitch of kind of beginning, middle, and end of the script. And thank you. Is that red apples or? I think it's red. Red. Fuji. That's it. What's the kind of the apples that? Honey crisp. Honey melt. Honey crisp. Honey? No. Honey's. Is it Honey Crisp apples?
Yeah.
Oh, so good. This might be that. So once they then pitch to Andrew and Bob, and then they say, okay, yes, we like that, write up the treatment. So then they write up basically an outline of the episode. Then they submit that to the studio and the network. Then they give their approval. Then it goes to script form. So then the writers have to sit down and actually hammer out all the dialogue and all the stage direction and everything that goes into the script. Then they'll pepper in like the through line. Like if the through line for season 12 was the boys find out about the British Men of Letters. The British Men of Letters ultimately decide that the American hunters need to be nixed. So they'll work in a few scenes. That's why a lot of times there will be an episode that doesn't have a lot to do with the mythology of the season, but then there will be Sam and Dean like in the Impala going like, hey, by the way, you talked to Mom yet? You know, and it's like, well, that kind of came from nowhere. Yeah, so they keep the long storyline. And so then once it gets approved by Studio Network, then they make the production script. And it's still going through kind of moderate rewrites throughout this whole process. Then we up north, is it sour? It might be green apples. Then we get the script up in Vancouver, and it goes into, and then we start breaking it down. Then the production team. You okay? You gonna be all right?
I'm blowing fire right now. I'm like a fire-breathing dragon.
I think this is the fermented juice. Anyway, then we get the script, and the production team then assembles, and they have their concept meeting. Okay, we now have a script. How are we going to make this live action? So, and I know this from directing. It's a bit of you're given a puzzle that you essentially have to put together. And you have all of your department heads, from special effects to makeup to visual effects to transpo to picture cars to stunts to art design. All of them are sitting in one room, and we're all going through the script page by page, line by line, and saying, how are we going to do that? And then we all put our minds together, and we figure out, we get an idea or get a game plan together of how we're going to do that. This is all happening in 8 days of prep. Then it goes into prepping all that, location scouting, casting, building sets. All of this happens before we ever roll a camera on it. So then we get to shooting it. Then it takes 8 days to shoot that episode. So now we're going to these sets that were just built a week ago. We're driving this car that they rented for the day. We're working with this actor that has never seen the show, and all of a sudden is like, I don't know what I'm doing. It's like, all right, just stick with us, you'll be fine. Yeah. Yeah, we had one guest star who was
she might come back, so we can't mention my name.
That's true.
No, we can't. No.
No, we can't. Maybe one day. And so then the actual filming happens. So then once, after 8 days of filming is up, then all that footage then goes down back to LA to the editors. And then they spend weeks, several weeks, editing, adding the music, adding all the sound effects, doing additional dialogue, whatever they need to fine tune it. Then they make a master edit, then they send that to the studio, they send that to the network, that gets approved, then it gets sent out to the affiliates, and then it goes on air.
Are you bored yet?
And that was as fast as I could make that.
I'm impressed and very thankful for everything casting.
There's a lot of people that work tireless hours to make this show what it is. We just happen to be the two faces that you see the most of. Unfortunately, Unfortunately, they don't get nearly the praise that they deserve, because without them, we would just be two out-of-work actors. So.
Speaking of preparation, the scripts that come in before you read, you get a script.
Are you German?
No, I'm German, Russian, Italian.
German, Russian, Italian?
Yes.
But
I've lived in South Africa too, so...
what percentage of each?
Well, mostly German and Indian and Russian, but a little bit of South African.
Indian.
And also some Iranian. So, when you read the finale, the last script, when you read the last bit of the last script for this season 12,
yeah, 12, that's right.
Well, how many hours did you hold each other and cry?
It's funny you should ask. Thank you for your question. German, Indian, Russian, Italian, South African. It's funny because the last week of filming, I was actually sick the last week of filming. I don't know what happened. It might have been, we stayed with a buddy of ours, this guy named Misha. He plays Castiel. And
I remember reading the end of I remember reading the end, and it literally just burst out into tears. Aww. No, of laughter. And I thought, how much fun is season 13 going to be? I mean, talk about cutting the fat.
Are you going to try and get...
So, to be honest, really this is me, Misha, here.
Oh, ladies and gentlemen. Chair number 3. So Misha has a funny story to tell you guys. We shot, for those who have seen the finale, you can listen. For those who have not, close your ears. We shot the last 3 days of season 12. It was a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, April 26th, 27th, 28th, something like that. And we shot like halfway to Whistler. And so it was a long drive. So Misha decided to rent a house, like a VRBO house, right? And he's like, hey guys, listen,
So just a preface, this was a moment of poor decision making. This moment that he's about to describe to you.
I'm sure it seemed like a great idea at the time. And so he says like, hey, Jensen, Jared, I know we're filming all day. It was night shooting, so all the stuff that takes place outside of the house, for those who have seen it, it was all Monday, like we started like 3 p.m. Monday, went to 5 a.m., started at 4 p.m. Tuesday, went to...
It was awful.
It was awful. It was night shooting, and Misha was like, hey, instead of driving back and forth and being exhausted, I rented a house so I didn't have to do the 4-hour drive round trip. If y'all just want to crash there, like it's a 3-bedroom, 4-bedroom, whatever. And we were like, that'd be cool, man. We haven't seen a whole lot of him this season because he works like 2 episodes a year.
It was a 4-bedroom.
It was a 4-bedroom?
Is what we were told.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, we told 5.
That was a little bit of a bait and switch. I was like, guys, I've got this huge place. Might as well come stay. And then Jensen went, you got up early. He played some golf. He went early to throw his bag in, and he's like, how many bedrooms did you say this place had? Because it was 2 bedrooms?
At most.
At most. That's stretching it.
It was 2 bedrooms. One of the...
I ended up sleeping on the
floor.
He slept on the floor next to the bed that he slept in. I don't know what happened. I was in the other room.
You were resting after what we had been through.
I needed it.
So we filmed till like 3 or 4.
How much of this story are we going to tell?
We're telling it all.
We're editing as we go.
We shouldn't tell it.
Not all of it.
I think you know, guys. I think that's it for us.
I think we're done. I think we got to go. Yeah. And we were so close.
Danielle is telling us we got to go.
Yeah.
No, not before the story ends.
So I get upstairs in the morning.
Okay, we'll delay a little bit for y'all. Fuck it. So Misha invites us over. We end up going like, they're thinking it's going to be like a short day. That by short we mean like 3 p.m. to 2 a.m. Like, oh, it's only an 11-hour day. It's going to be brilliant. It ends up going like 5, and so we go back to Misha's place. And we're like, hey, this is like a send-off for season 12. Let's open a bottle of wine, have a few beers, whatever. And so we hung out and had a few drinks and kind of chatted there was like a patio overlooking the JIB, which is this beautiful mountain.
After we realized that there were very little places to sleep in this place, we were then like, well, I guess we should probably just stay up.
So we stayed up and then went to bed.
I do remember at one point being in the other room.
This is the night or the day of?
Being awoke by just...
Yeah, it was...
And I'm like, what are they doing in there? Have they brought in animals now? And...
Like I said, I was sick.
Jared was snoring so loud that from down the hall in a closed door bedroom, it woke me up. And I'm like, how is Misha possibly sleeping in the same room?
Oh, he had been put to the test the night before.
He can sleep through anything.
No, he woke up for...
when you nudged him.
You're all like, what's true and what's not? I want to believe. No, so... we wake up and it's all like, we filmed too late, we stayed too late. And so, the phone, so Misha has rented this house, VRBO or something, home away. So he puts
it's all under his name.
It's all under his name. So the home phone rings.
So stupid.
So Jared, me, obviously.
I love when he refers to himself in the third person.
I come upstairs to find Jared on the phone after the phone had been ringing.
So this is
the house phone. The phone that belongs to the home.
To fill it in,
that is not Misha's or us. Or
the house phone rings, and I'm like, hello. And the other guy's like, hey, Virgil. I'm like, this is Virgil. Yes, this is Virgil.
The actual owner of the home.
Yeah, I'm sitting with Mark, and Mark wants to cancel his lease a couple months early. It means we'll have to let him off the hook, but we have another lease coming in. We think, I'm like, pull the trigger.
Now I'm like, whoa, hey.
Yeah, hey, no, go ahead and do it. Sign it. This is Virgil. Sign on my behalf. Sign on my behalf. And so the guy's like, cool, man. Well, we'll just send the papers. And Misha's grabbing the phone. Finally, it like flies out of both of our hands. It's
into a glass, breaks a glass. There's the sound of me going, no! Glass breaking, me grabbing the phone and hanging it up. And that's how the call ended. So it's, yeah, great, go ahead, sign on my behalf.
Go ahead, sign on my behalf. That's fantastic. We've got Roy here to witness it. Yep, thanks, Roy. Okay, bye.
I couldn't believe the police didn't show up after that. And then the phone rings again.
No. When was the computer? When was your computer?
The phone rings again, and I run downstairs. Right? I don't know. I lost the sequence. At some point, I did
when
something.
Was your computer open?
I left my computer open. I went downstairs. That's when he started tweeting something about.
He jumps up, runs over to the computer, starts tweeting. Then you hear Misha coming sprinting back upstairs as though he just realized that the computer was available.
I ran downstairs to unplug the phone so that like no more incoming calls would come into the house. And as I'm coming back upstairs, I like, I went into slow motion because, of course, Jared is sitting there on my laptop.
I think I was like retweeting Donald Trump, like, couldn't agree more.
Yeah,
You're the best.
That's right, that's what it was.
And so then he comes up, and now Misha's like, ugh. Okay, I have my phone. I have the house phone. I have my computer.
I'm just gonna.
Meanwhile, it was the best morning cup of coffee entertainment I've ever had. I'm just sitting there at the table, like.
And so then it's time to. Then it's time to get ready for work, and so. Keep in mind, this is like a very nice house. It's been like architectured, and it's very beautiful home, pretty new. And so the phone is unplugged, Misha has taken back over his Twitter, and so he goes to shower, get ready for work or whatever, and I'm upstairs, and I'm like, I'm gonna turn on CNN, like, whatever, and I'm going, and it's like it's some unusual Canadian satellite system I'm not used to, so CNN's not the same channel, so I'm like flipping through channels, and it gets to like, boys in the shower, or something, boys in their butts, or something like that, and I was like, huh. And I pushed one.
That piqued your interest?
Yeah, Misha's on the bill, man.
He picked, to be specific, he selected subscribe, which was very expensive.
Assuming, in all fairness, that the homeowner wouldn't rent his house out to people without putting a block on pay-per-view, but he didn't. He didn't block his pay-per-view. And so he subscribed, well, Misha, the tenant, subscribed to, it was like, boys, handsome butts.
It was very
sex or something.
Very, very, very graphic bathroom sex. And I believe you subscribed like to the month, like the forever.
It was an annual subscription.
In all fairness, they were offering a deal at the time.
I spent, by the way,
$200. Yeah.
They left before me for work, and I spent almost 2 hours trying to unsubscribe. Unsuccessfully. I could not unsubscribe because I didn't have the password that he had created.
And on that note, we're out. Thank you, guys.